Ladies and gentlemen, something dark is happening behind those cold, concrete walls. And this time, it's not about rap beefs, new albums, or viral diss tracks. It's about survival. Because according to multiple inside sources, Lil Durk's health behind bars has taken a turn for the worst. Whispers from the inside say he's barely eating, barely sleeping, and that his body is starting to give up on him. But here's the part that's got fans losing their minds. Guards themselves are saying, he won't survive this. Yeah, you heard that right. Not random fans. Not clickbait blogs. The guards. So what's really happening inside that cell? Why are reports surfacing that Durk's being kept in isolation? That his medical requests are mysteriously delayed? And that someone high up doesn't want this story to get out? Coincidence or cover-up? Because think about it. A superstar who once filled arenas, now locked away, fading behind steel bars while the internet argues over fake leaks. And yet, the silence from his team? Deafening. So the question is Lil Durk really fighting for his life in there? Or are we watching the quiet beginning of something much, much darker? Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about fame, fortune, and downfall, very few stories hit harder than what's unfolding right now with Lil Durk, the man who once stood on the biggest stages in hip-hop, dripping in diamonds and dominance, is now lying in a small, dimly lit cell, a place colder than any beat he ever dropped. But the whispers coming out of that facility, they're darker than anything his fans ever expected. According to multiple insiders, Durk's condition inside the jail has rapidly declined. His health, they say, is deteriorating fast, and the guards, the same people responsible for keeping him safe, are allegedly murmuring he won't make it through the month. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, that's just gossip," let's rewind. Remember how this all started? Durk's arrest wasn't exactly a quiet event. It was headline chaos, mugshots, conspiracy theories, leaked footage, and endless speculation. Everyone had an opinion. Some said he was targeted. Others swore he knew too much. But what nobody expected was that the biggest threat to his life might not come from the streets, but from inside those prison walls. One anonymous officer, who, of course, isn't allowed to speak on record, reportedly told an insider blog, "It's bad in there. Real bad. He's been coughing, barely standing up during checks, and he keeps saying his chest feels tight." The same source added, "They're pretending like he's fine, but we all see it. Something's wrong." And if that doesn't sound eerie enough, fans noticed something strange too. A week ago, Durk's official Instagram suddenly unfollowed several industry names, then went completely silent. No cryptic stories, no team statements, no updates. Just digital silence, the kind that screams louder than words. And that's when the real storm began. Twitter, or X, if you want to sound modern, exploded overnight. Hashtags like #PrayForDurk, #JusticeForDurk, and #LetDurk Speak started trending within hours. Fans began posting old clips of him performing live, talking about his legacy, and speculating if he somehow foresaw all this. Because let's be real, some of Durk's old lyrics suddenly sound way too prophetic. Lines like, "They'll try to take your soul before they let you shine," are being dissected like scripture now. Coincidence? Or confession? But here's where things get chilling. One former inmate from the same facility allegedly came forward with shocking details. According to him, Durk ain't in general population anymore. They moved him to isolation. Say it's for his safety, but that's the same thing they said before another artist went down. He claimed that Durk's meals are restricted, his meds delayed, and his calls to family monitored so tightly that it's like they're afraid of what he might say. Imagine that, one of the biggest names in hip-hop, reduced to a voice echoing off four walls while guards whisper about his condition. And yet, No one's talking officially. Not his lawyer. Not his label. Not even his closest friends. King Von's sister, who's known to be vocal online, posted a cryptic tweet that read, "Sometimes silence is louder than truth." Within minutes, it was deleted. Coincidence? Maybe, but in the world of celebrity crisis, nothing disappears without reason. Meanwhile, inside sources claim that the prison's medical staff has been under pressure to keep things internal. Translation: no leaks, no reports, no accountability. One medical technician allegedly said off camera, "We were told not to discuss his case. Not to mention symptoms. Not to confirm anything. Period." Now you tell me, since when do jail staff get gag orders about an inmate's health unless there's something to hide? Adding more fuel to the fire, a mysterious video surfaced on TikTok last night. A grainy clip showing what appears to be a stretcher being rolled down a prison hallway. The person filming whispered, "That's Durk. They don't want the public to see this." The clip spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views in hours before it was taken down for security reasons. But not before the internet did what it does best: screenshot, repost, analyze, and amplify. Some claim it's real. Others say it's fake. But the bigger question is, if it's fake, why is nobody from Durk's team debunking it? Normally, they're lightning fast at shutting rumors down. This time, not a peep. And when silence replaces denial, that's when people start asking the hard questions. Because here's the thing, this isn't the first time a big-name artist's jail stay turned suspicious. From Tupac's mysterious assaults behind bars to Kodak Black's claims of being poisoned, the parallels are too many to ignore. The pattern? They get locked up, stories of mistreatment start leaking, and then, out of nowhere, the truth either disappears, or someone does. Fans are connecting dots like detectives now. Some are even speculating that Durk's health issues might not be natural. "He was fine when he went in," one fan tweeted. "Now suddenly he's weak and can't keep food down? Nah, something's up." Another wrote, "If something happens to Durk, just know it wasn't by accident." And while these may just be fan theories, they hit a nerve, because this isn't just about Durk anymore. It's about power, image, and the machine behind the music industry. When an artist becomes too influential, too aware, or too unpredictable, the system finds ways to quiet them. And if history has taught us anything, the quieter it gets, the scarier the truth hiding underneath. Inside the jail, tensions rising too. One insider says other inmates have been warned to stay away from the rapper. But why? What's he going to do? Rap his way out? Or maybe it's not about what he'll do. Maybe it's about what someone else plans to do to him. Because apparently, even the guards are split. Some want to protect him. Others are fed up with the extra attention and rules that came with housing a celebrity. Now, imagine being Lil Durk, once surrounded by friends, security, cameras, and lights, now trapped in a box, weak, isolated, and unsure if the people outside are fighting for him or forgetting him. According to one leaked report, Durk recently collapsed during a head count. The official note says, dizziness due to dehydration. But witnesses say it was worse, much worse. "He hit the ground hard," said one source. "They carried him out, but we didn't see him come back for hours." And if that wasn't enough, rumors started swirling that Durk had been transferred to a medical wing. Yet, when journalists contacted the facility for confirmation, the answer was chillingly vague. "We cannot confirm or deny the movement of specific inmates." Translation: we know something happened, but you'll never hear it from us. Now ask yourself, why so secretive? Why the silence? Why the lockdown comes, the no photo policy, the removed TikToks, the vanishing tweets? When every detail is being buried, it's usually because there's something deep enough to dig for. And as all this unfolds, fans worldwide are losing sleep. Forums are flooded with theories. People are lighting candles, posting prayers, and writing "Free Durk" on every platform. But behind all the noise, one truth remains. Nobody really knows what's happening inside that cell. Nobody but the guards, the system, and maybe the ones who want this story buried for good. But here's the thing about buried truths. They always find a way back up. And if what insiders are claiming is even half true, Lil Durk's situation might not just be a health crisis. It could be the start of a scandal bigger than anyone ever imagined. Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought part 1 was wild, hold on to your seats, because what's coming next makes everything we've heard so far sound like a bedtime story. The whispers about Lil Durk's health aren't just rumors anymore. They've turned into full-blown panic, and now even people inside the system are slipping up, leaving a trail of clues that point to something much darker going on behind those bars. Reports from the inside say that a classified memo has started circulating, a memo meant for internal staff only. It allegedly outlines protocols for high-risk inmate monitoring, and yes, Durk's name is on that list. But here's the kicker: the memo was never supposed to leave the facility. Yet somehow, a redacted version made its way to a gossip outlet late last night. And in it, one phrase stands out like a red flag: subject showing signs of physical distress, possibly stress-induced organ dysfunction. Now, most of us aren't doctors, but organ dysfunction inside a jail where the medical attention is already questionable. That's not stress, that's survival mode. And remember those guards from part 1 who said, "He won't make it"? Well, turns out one of them has reportedly been suspended. The reason? Unauthorized communication with media. You see the pattern yet? Every time someone tries to speak out, they get silenced. Every whisper that leaks gets met with sudden disciplinary action. Almost like someone wants to shut this story down before it spirals out of control. But it's too late. The spiral has already begun. Social media detectives are piecing together timelines, connecting Durk's last few public statements with these so-called symptoms. One fan posted a clip from his last live before jail. Durk looked exhausted, rubbing his eyes saying, "I ain't been feeling right lately." At the time, everyone thought it was just stress. Now fans are rewatching it like a prophecy. Meanwhile, the hashtag #PrayForDurk hashtag has turned into a movement. Fans are organizing virtual vigils, some even contacting prison reform groups demanding an official health report. A Change.org petition has over 200,000 signatures already, titled "Protect Lil Durk's Life, We Deserve Transparency." And the comments under it? They're brutal. "If anything happens to him, it's on the system," one reads. Another says, "We've seen this movie before. First they say he's sick, then they say he's gone." Now here's where things take an even more sinister turn. A supposed insider, who goes by the alias Cell Block Witness, posted screenshots of what he claims are private staff group chats. In them, someone allegedly says, "Medical visit denied again. Orders from higher up. He's not to be moved unless it's critical." Another responds, "He already is critical. He's dropping weight every day." The account was deleted hours later, but not before screenshots spread across Reddit and hip-hop Twitter like wildfire. And if that wasn't bad enough, a grainy voice note started making rounds online, a man claiming to be an inmate saying, "Durk barely talks now. They keep him in a corner cell with no sunlight. He collapsed last week. They said it was dehydration, but he looked pale as a ghost." People tried to verify the audio, but the account vanished before anyone could confirm its source. Suspicious, right? Almost like someone didn't want that clip to stay up too long. Meanwhile, gossip blogs are eating it up. One even claimed they got access to a visitor log that proves Durk's family was turned away twice in the past month, with officials saying health restrictions. Think about that. A man's family can't see him, his team's gone silent. Guards are getting suspended, and all the while, Rumors of his worsening health keep multiplying. You'd think anyone from his management would step in and clarify. But no, just more silence. Then a bombshell dropped. A supposed ex-nurse from the facility, who quit last week, went public under anonymity, saying she witnessed irregularities in how Durk's case was being handled. In her words, he wasn't being treated like a patient. He was being managed like a secret. She claimed that when she asked to update his medical chart, she was told, "That file's restricted. Only the warden and upper staff have clearance." Now ask yourself, since when does a rapper's flu symptoms require clearance from the top? Unless, of course, it's not a flu at all. Some speculate he's being poisoned. Yeah, sounds insane, but listen, it's not coming from random corners of the internet anymore. Verified bloggers are hinting at tampered food trays and unauthorized supplements. Remember, this is the same jail that's been accused before of inhumane conditions. But the moment it's Durk, everything goes radio silent. Nah, too convenient. And get this, Durk's lawyer finally broke his silence for half a second. In an interview outside the courthouse, when asked about Durk's condition, he said, "My client is facing extremely difficult circumstances, and we're doing everything in our power to ensure his well-being." Notice the choice of words, not he's fine, not he's healthy, but extremely difficult circumstances. That's PR code for something's wrong, but we can't say it yet. Even celebrities are starting to speak out. Meek Mill tweeted, "They did me the same way, now they doing Durk dirty. Y'all don't see what's going on?" The tweet was deleted minutes later, but screenshots? Everywhere. DJ Academics posted a cryptic clip too saying, "If y'all knew what I knew about Durk's situation, you'd be terrified." Of course, he didn't elaborate, but that's all it takes for the internet to explode, and explode it did. Fans started storming comment sections, tagging every major platform from the Shade Room to TMZ, demanding answers. Meanwhile, YouTube videos claiming Durk's life in danger started racking up millions of views overnight. Every creator, every outlet, every conspiracy theorist, everyone wants a piece of the story. Because whether it's truth, rumor, or something in between, the name Lil Durk sells. But let's not pretend it's just random chaos. Some insiders say this is being controlled. One guard reportedly told a blogger, "Every time someone tries to report on him, admin steps in. They move files, erase footage, reroute requests. It's like they've built a wall around him." The same source claimed Durk was scheduled for a medical transfer last week that was abruptly canceled. No reason given. So now the big question, why? Why would a system want to silence one rapper's health condition? Is it fear of backlash? Fear of exposure? Or maybe Durk's situation isn't what it looks like at all. Maybe it's not just sickness, maybe it's strategy. Because in the world of fame and control, every move means something. What if Durk's illness is being used as leverage? What if there's a deal behind the scenes, one that requires him to stay quiet, stay hidden, and stay sick? Wild theory, sure. But remember, in this industry, truth is often stranger than fiction. One shocking claim even suggests that Durk's team knows exactly what's going on but can't go public due to ongoing negotiations. Negotiations for what? Freedom? Silence? Immunity? Nobody knows. But the fact that these conversations are happening at all tells you something big is brewing. And while the world argues, Durk sits in that cell, weak, isolated, and forgotten by the same system that once profited off his pain. The lights in his cell flicker at night, the same way his fans' hope flickers outside. Nobody can say for sure what tomorrow brings, but one thing's becoming painfully clear. This isn't just about a rapper getting sick in jail. This is about how power operates when cameras aren't watching. And as more voices start speaking, as more leaks surface, the line between rumor and truth begins to blur. Until all that's left is one question that everyone's too afraid to ask. Is Lil Durk's health crisis just bad luck? Or the beginning of something much bigger? And that's exactly where things go from strange to absolutely terrifying. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as the night deepened in that cold correctional facility, whispers began to echo through the cell blocks. Whispers that Lil Durk's condition had taken a dangerous turn. Guards, inmates, and even staff reportedly saw him being rushed down the corridor, surrounded by 2 nurses and a security detail. No one knew where he was going. Some said the infirmary. Others swore they saw the med team heading toward the emergency exit that leads directly to the transport van, the one they use for outside hospital runs. But the strangest part? No official paperwork was filed. No one signed off a transfer. Which means if that ambulance really did take Durk out, it wasn't on the books. Something about this whole situation just doesn't add up. Because how can one of the most high-profile inmates in the country be moved secretly in the middle of the night without any record? That's not standard protocol. That's a cover-up. And get this, early this morning, an insider from the facility's kitchen staff, who claims he's seen Durk almost daily, came forward with a chilling statement. He said, "Yo, that man didn't look good. He was barely eating, always had this blank stare, and his hands were trembling like crazy. I thought it was just stress, but last week, they started feeding him liquid meals. That's when I knew something was really wrong. Now I know, we've all seen fake reports before. Clickbait titles, overblown rumors, but this time, multiple sources are lining up with the same story. Durk's health has plummeted, and the prison is trying to keep it under wraps to avoid public outrage. Because think about it. If word got out that they let one of the biggest names in rap nearly die behind bars, the internet would absolutely explode. There'd be protests, fan outcry, lawsuits, you name it. And let's not pretend Durk's enemies aren't watching closely. Word in the industry is that a few rival camps have been celebrating his condition. A DJ close to an opposing crew allegedly posted and quickly deleted a story saying, "Tables turn fast. Karma don't miss." Cold. But that's how dark the music world can get when competition turns personal. Meanwhile, fans outside are losing their minds. Twitter spaces have been running all night. One titled #PrayForDurk hit over 50,000 listeners in under an hour. Some fans are convinced this is all part of a deeper conspiracy, that Durk was targeted inside, that someone wanted him silenced permanently. Wild? Maybe, but if you know anything about the kind of politics that go down behind those prison walls, maybe not so wild after all. And as these rumors catch fire, Durk's legal team has suddenly gone silent. No statements, no appearances, nothing. Even his family has gone off grid. One of his cousins, who's usually very vocal online, tweeted just a single emoji last night, a folded prayer hands, and then deactivated. That alone speaks volumes. It's like they've been told not to talk, not to leak, not to even breathe a word about what's happening inside those gates. But here's where it gets even darker. There are whispers that the facility might be under investigation itself. A supposed internal review was launched this week after several inmates mysteriously fell sick, all from the same wing where Durk was being held. Some claim the food was contaminated. Others think it was something else. Deliberate tampering. Whatever it was, it left several men hospitalized. And Durk? Reportedly the worst off. Now, of course, officials are denying everything. They're saying there's no medical emergency and no confirmed reports of illness. But when you've got 3 different insiders, 2 anonymous guards, and a nurse all saying otherwise, sorry. But the denial doesn't hold much weight. Something is being hidden, and the timing couldn't be more suspicious. Because Durk's case, his upcoming hearings, and the pressure from fans online, it's all colliding right now in one big media storm. But maybe the scariest part of all this? People inside are saying that when Durk collapsed last, he wasn't even surrounded by staff. It was another inmate who called for help, and that inmate hasn't been seen since. Gone, transferred for security reasons. They said. Convenient, isn't it? Every witness disappears, every leak gets silenced, and the only thing left behind is a rumor the officials call false. Ladies and gentlemen, something is definitely not right inside that facility. And tonight, the question isn't whether Lil Durk's health is bad, it's how bad. Because the way insiders describe it, it sounds like his body is giving up. Some say it's dehydration, others mention something much deeper, internal issues, exhaustion, maybe even a mental breakdown. Whatever it is, this isn't the same Lil Durk who went in. Something or someone has broken him down behind those walls. And while his fans pray and speculate, the system stays quiet, like a monster hiding in the shadows, waiting for the storm to pass. But here's the thing about silence. It always cracks. And when it does, when the truth finally comes out about what's been happening inside those cells, it's going to shake the entire music industry to its core. Because this isn't just about Durk anymore, it's about power, control, and the dangerous game between fame and punishment. And if what we're hearing is even half true, then what's going down inside that prison isn't rehabilitation, it's destruction. Plain and simple. So the question now is, how much longer can he hold on? How much longer before someone, anyone, from the inside breaks and tells the world what's really happening behind those locked steel doors? Because if these whispers are true, then Lil Durk's fight for survival isn't about freedom anymore. It's about life itself, and trust me, we're not done digging. Because the more this facility denies, the deeper this hole gets. And somewhere inside, behind all the silence, lies the truth that could either clear his name or confirm our worst fears. Stay with me, because this story is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. If what we've uncovered tonight doesn't shake you to your core, I don't know what will. Lil Durk, one of the biggest names in hip-hop, is reportedly fighting for his life inside a system that was never built to protect him. And as the officials stay silent, as his lawyers vanish from the spotlight, and as fans beg for updates, one thing is clear: something dark is happening behind those prison walls now. Whether this is just a medical emergency or part of something far bigger, something calculated, we might never know, unless the truth leaks out. But let's be honest, this is Durk we're talking about. A man who's faced bullets, betrayal, heartbreak, and fame, and somehow survived it all. If anyone can rise out of this, it's him. But still, when guards themselves are whispering, he might not survive this, that's not just rumor. That's a warning. So here's my question to you. What do you think is really going on inside? Is Durk being silenced for reasons we don't yet know? Is this a setup? Or is it a tragic case of neglect inside a system that just doesn't care who you are once those doors slam shut? Drop your thoughts down below. I'm reading every single one, and trust me, I want to hear your theories. Because this story isn't just about one man suffering, it's about power, corruption, and how quickly fame can turn into a trap. And if history has taught us anything, it's that the truth always finds a way out. So don't go anywhere. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, and stay locked in, because I promise you, the next update on this story is going to be massive. And when it drops, you'll want to be the first to know. This is Spillera bringing you the stories they don't want you to hear. Stay alert, stay curious, and as always, keep your eyes open. Because in this game, nothing is ever what it seems.